Hello party people, it's me JiBron here, back at it again with another video. If this is your first time tuning in, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and welcome back to another episode of JiBron Unhinged. Alright y'all, so we are back and we have got a lot to talk about this week. The first thing that I want to talk about is something that actually happened locally with this girl named Georgia Creamer. Now, there was a parade, the Centaur parade that happened like over the weekend, and there was a little dispute that happened between Georgia Creamer and then a great-grandmother. Now, I know what you're thinking, why is this such a big deal? Well, Georgia Creamer is a Caucasian woman, and the people that she was arguing with was an African-American woman and her great-grandchildren. Now, here's where the things get a little hood and a little ghetto. So, Georgia Creamer and her family allegedly spent the whole night in the particular spot at the parade. Well, this African-American woman and her great-grandchildren were also attending the parade, and I guess they got in the spot that she quote-unquote marked her territory for, and she was upset and she got belligerent and she threw some stuff and it hit a child. This made the news all across the city. It was a complete and total mess and people wanted justice to be done. My school even got involved because a student was involved. Granted, they couldn't release any information due to FERPA, but y'all, the fact that you would act a complete and total fool the first week of Black History Month speaks volumes. I mean, racism is still real. We all know these things. But the fact that you have the audacity to attack this woman who's a great-grandmother, not a grandmother, a great-grandmother and her great-grandchildren, and your bottle hits one of the kids is beyond disgusting, and it's confusing to me. She ended up having to turn herself in, and her mugshot looked like she'll do it again, which, girl, first of all, who camps out the night before a freaking parade? First of all, we live in Shreveport. People are going to parades, but they're not going to parades like that. Like, girl, it's not that big of a deal. And then they had to send out a PSA pretty much saying, like, hey, you can't reserve public property. I was just beyond disgusted and disturbed that this woman thought it was okay to curse to this woman and pretty much get all ballsy. Like, there's been instances where I've been in line and I've lost my spot in line, but I didn't want to fight nobody about it. It made no sense to me, and a whole bunch of people were involved, and I was on Facebook and I saw that a lot of people were tagging the places where she was employed and the people that were in the video because they wanted justice done. I was happy that collectively as a community that it rallied all of us together, because sometimes, y'all, we seem like we're really divided around this piece. And it was just good to see like the community fight for all like the common good for everyone, and, you know, like get equality and get equal rights. But the fact that you had the nerve to do this during the first week of Black History Month was absolutely asinine to me. And first of all, who camps out the night before for a parade spot? Like, girl, you need to go shower. Girl, did you not have any food and stuff? I know you was stinking and I know your breath was funky. Like, girl, it is freaking Clyde Fan A, okay? It's not like we live in the most astute area. The homeless people are out in there. You could have gotten mugged or robbed all behind a parade spot. Girl, sit is not that serious. Like, and I'm glad that you got arrested. But anyway, in other news, did you watch the Super Bowl halftime performance? I didn't. But the Karens are mad. The people pretty much, they had an alternative halftime show, by the way, that I had no clue about. Did I watch it? No, I didn't watch it because I didn't care. I'm not really a Bad Bunny fan. That's the main reason why I decided not to tune in. It had nothing to do with the fact that he was speaking in Spanish. I personally felt like, you know, considering what's going on in the country, I feel like it was a political move on the Super Bowl's end. And of course, you know, there was sprinkles of ICE protest in it. I understood why it happened because it was a message that needed to be talked about globally. You know, of course, the president had to tweet and pretty much was upset and angry and outraged, and, you know, people were saying that the country is divided. People were upset because I think 78% of American households only speak English, and those were the people that were watching the Super Bowl halftime performance. People were also upset with one of the song choices that he had, pretty much alluding to the fact about sleeping. It was like, don't tell my auntie or something in Spanish, and like he flew the girl out and he had good D. I didn't understand the outrage because, I mean, on American television, we've had worse things happen. I mean, no offense, do you not remember the Britney Spears moment on the MTV Awards? I mean, you've had people giving oral things in the Oval Office. We've seen worse and heard worse on television. I mean, Rihanna performed at the halftime show. I think people are very selective with their outrage, and I felt like Bad Bunny just got a bad rap because I'm like, He represents a part of America. The last couple of performances dedicated to my people. You know, we had the hip hop explosion for the 50th anniversary, or was it the 40th anniversary of hip hop? And then, you know, last year we had Usher or whatever. So I feel like with Bad Bunny being the quote unquote artist for the Super Bowl, I understood it because it was showing another side of American culture. Because at the end of the day, America is full of immigrants. This country is built on the back of immigrants. Nobody is really native here. So people who are saying that the performance wasn't American, I'm like, what do you think being American is? Everyone is in America. We have Asian people, Hispanic people, black people, Caucasian people. We have people from all different types of continents and walks of life. So I was very disturbed with the fact that people were being pretty much showing that they were basically racist this whole entire time, because it made no sense to me, because at the end of the day, you will want representation for your life and for your people. And I feel like the fact that the Super Bowl was very, you know, they weren't backing down. They didn't get another performer. And the fact that it was in the performance was all in Spanish. I feel like it just allowed the Hispanics to have their moment and have their time. And I didn't watch it, but I understood it and I wholeheartedly support it. They had another halftime show, which, okay. I just, if you don't like it, you don't have to tune in. I just personally didn't tune in because I don't know any of Bad Bunny's music. It had nothing to do with the fact that he's, you know, Hispanic or anything like that. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, we are America. We're all mixed. Heck, all of us have a little bit of something in us. I might even have some white in me. You never know. But that whole being selective outrage, it gave very Karen vibes. In other news, did y'all hear about Cardi B and Stefon Diggs? Okay, so word on the curb is that they are reportedly broken up because they unfollowed each other after the Super Bowl. And get this, Stefon Diggs' other baby mother was also in the audience. And Cardi B was asked, did she have any like good words for Stefon for the Super Bowl? She gave a dry good luck. Here's the thing about her and Stefon Diggs' relationship. He was clearly a rebound after Offset. I mean, you never get with the first man you get with after going through a major divorce. Stefon, child, I was looking at how many kids you had last year alone. Let's talk, people. Stefon had not one, not two, not three, but 4 babies in 1 year with 4 separate different women. I said, what kind of ratcheticity is going on around here in these streets? So he had a baby before Cardi in April. Then he had another one. Both of those were girls. And then he had the boy with Cardi. And then he had one in late 2025, which was also a boy. Because I remember after Cardi gave birth, he had to go be with the other mother. Is it really that good where you're just slinging it all around town and everybody's getting a piece of the Kit Kat bar? I don't understand. Like, is your money really that long? We all know I don't follow sports, but God dog it, 4 kids in 4 different years. Do you not understand the proper, like, do you not own condoms? Like, I'm not understanding why you have 4 different baby mothers in 4 years. Like, instead of having ghetto twins, you have ghetto, 4 of them. Like, that is so hood and so ratchet. And then for Cardi to get with him, I understand that Offset had kids when she met her, but for you to be the 3rd baby mother out of 4, it's just like you have too much going on in your career. You are currently in the process of you just started your world tour, and it's like you are above the shenanigans. He's giving the knockoff version of Nick Cannon. Except, Nick, did you ever have 4 kids with 4 different women in 1 year? I understand the whole process of being fruitful and multiply, but God dog it, 4 separate baby mothers. And for anybody that thought this relationship was going to last, you clearly don't have a brain. Because how on earth is a man going to father 4 children and be in a relationship with 1 woman? There's so much overlapping of it all. It's very trashy. And I'm just like, this is some hood stuff. I'm just like, 4 baby mothers in 1 year. Imagine the birthday parties you finna have to spend all year long. And how do you divide your time? You're on the road all the time with the football. So how are you spending time with all these different children? And not to mention, you already had 2 previous children. I think you had one in like 2016, and then the other one was like in 2020. So I was like, if the first 2 wasn't enough, and I think those were 2 separate women as well. Granted, Daddy, you have a baby mama for every baby you got. Hey, Daddy, I love you. But, child, 6 for 6? Okay, I don't have to pay the child support every month, but nonetheless, did y'all hear about what happened with Glorilla and her sister? Are we really arguing over $2,500? Are we really arguing over $2,500? Okay, let me give you the rundown what happened with Glorilla and her sister. So Glorilla's sister decided to do an interview with TMZ Live with Harvey and them. Hey Harvey, hey y'all. So apparently she's upset because I guess she feels like she's entitled to some kind of financial compensation because Glorilla works and you don't, but apparently you do work, but you're begging for money on TMZ Live. I didn't understand. Her sister's name is Victoria, but she goes by Scarface. Scarface has pretty much been dragging Glorilla through the mud. Apparently she has 10 siblings and she said that Glorilla is not really helping out financially with their mother. Apparently Glorilla announced that she retired her entire family, both of her parents, but apparently her mother still works at FedEx, which if you are an adult in America and you have not done your full amount of years to work, why are you expecting your child to retire you? I feel like everybody needs to work. Even if you are the most wealthy person on God's green earth, I feel like everybody just needs to have something to do throughout the day besides sit at home all day, eat bonbons and drink Coke and become a fat slob. And then the next thing you know, you're gonna be on 600 pounds like, I can't lose the weight. Like nobody has time for you to sit around and be a freeloader. And Scarface, you have a lot of balls to sit around and think that your sister owes you any financial obligations. Last time I checked, Glorilla had a talent and she got herself up out the muck and she decided that she was going to make something of her life and she was going to make the money. It's her money at the end of the day. You are not entitled to anything that this girl owns. Whatever she does is purely a gift. If she wants to give her mother money, that's her business. If she doesn't want to give her mother money, that is also her business. Nobody is responsible for taking care of grown individuals who are well and able-bodied. It is different if you cannot work, but at the same token, you would get some kind of SSI check or whatever. Nobody is required to take care of you, especially at your overgrown age. If you can go on TMZ Live and beg for $2,500, then you can go clock in at a job and work. Do you think that I want to sling coffee out of a window every week? No, but I do it because guess what? It is my own money, and as an adult, I need to have some stream of income. Glorilla then decided to clash back and she pretty much showed text messages between her and her mother where she pretty much said that she was going to give her money once she makes it big. And apparently Glorilla has been helping her financially because Glorilla went on a live and she pretty much stated that every time her mother wants to go shopping, she pretty much is funding her money. And she also mentioned that her sister, I guess, has some mental health issues and that she still loves her and that she can use her name as long as it is in a positive light. Glorilla also mentioned that she got sent to jail behind her sister because apparently her sister said that she allegedly pulled a gun on her or whatever. And it's all messy, it's all trifling, it's all vindictive. Girl, if you wanted your own little 15 minutes of fame, I hope you enjoy it while it lasts because it won't last that long. You are not Solange, you're not even Tamar. You need to go ahead and pretty much go hide and go to work because at the end of the day, we all need to work. Speaking of Tamar, you got underneath the comments and said we're all going to pray for the Tawanas of the family. If you don't know what happened, Tawana asked Tamar to borrow money for a down payment. But I just don't understand you people in the freeloading of it all. I guess because I was just always trained to work. I guess I don't understand the whole begging or asking. I like to be able to get up and go. Why wouldn't you want to do the same? Why would you want to be on someone's tax write-offs? Like, that just really gives off bum behavior. And the last thing I want to talk about is prayers up to Wendy Williams and her entire family. Her father, Thomas, recently just passed away at the age of 94, a week before his 95th birthday. If you watch the Wendy Williams show, then you know who her parents were. You know her parents meant the world to her. And it's really, really sad, but he did get to live 94 years of wonderful life. Fun fact, he's a part of Black history. He actually marched on Washington. He was one of the first Black people to ever be principal in New Jersey. So, but yeah. Anyway, y'all, that's all the time that I have for you this week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.